What's up, everybody? It's your favorite. If a man is considered guilty for what goes on in his mind, then give me the electric chair for all my future crimes. Oh, shout out to anybody that knows that reference. You have my eternal respect. This is MMC's Anarchus, which is their take on Kaon from the DJD. He comes with two accessories. One is this gun with a hinged handle that has not a lick of paint on it, but has some nice line work, but is it ever enough? Holds it just fine. And then the other thing is this this bit of business here. You can fold them up. They're on hinges that are fairly tight, but you fold up these legs. Yeah, no paint on the arms. You got the little red to make the little spider look, which I think that I'll be displaying them separately, just like another pet. You know what I mean? And this goes on like this. Like that, yeah. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, there it is. And you have this look, which is definitely not my favorite. You know, I don't need this. I'll take this off and he'll be fine. But it is there if you like it. And the other thing that you can do with this is have this guy like a little spider drone and plug the gun in up top. And then you got him. Alright, let's talk about him. Head is on a ball joint. It gets you limited back due to the sculpt of the head, not the backpack. That should be pointed out. So they could have got a little bit more if they would have sculpted the head a bit differently. This gray is painted on the red, and it doesn't quite match this gray. But because you're mostly seeing him from the front, it doesn't really bother you. I'm just pointing it out. The gold is painted on top of the red plastic. It gets a little dodgy in some areas, right along the edges. But for the most part, it's pretty well done. Silver finish on the face with the red chin, which looks good. As far as the torso, it's on a ball joint, so you get the full toward. Now you get the little bit of a waist swivel. It's not a full swivel, but you know it doesn't bother me. And you know the human body. Now I understand this isn't a human, but the human body doesn't get that much more of a waist twist either. So I'm okay with it. The paint on the chest is pretty spectacular. So this is red plastic. This is gray plastic. The gold is painted on, and then the silver is painted on as well, and then the gold in the middle, and it's all done really sharp. It's almost like, you know, it's almost like this company's been around for a long time, and painting for a long time, which we know they haven't really been doing. Paint is kind of a new territory for them. And then this beige is painted on down at the bottom, and that looks really good as well, rather. And the thing is that this has like a glossy finish, and the rest of this is kind of matte or metallic. And like usually I like stuff like that, but for some reason it's throwing me off a taste. I think I wish that more of it had a glossy finish. I think it would have looked a little bit more dynamic. But you know, to be fair, Milne's work isn't really that way. So maybe that's what they were going after, but I think that this should have been matte then to kind of make it blend. Shoulders. So this, you know, thing here, like the electrical thing, is on its own hinge that moves, and then the shoulder itself is on a hinge, and then a swivel. So the shoulder is basically a universal joint with this tacked in. This has a metallic silver finish and the gold paint in there. This has that same beige finish. The bicep swivel is down at the elbow, which is fine, and then the elbow is on a single hinge. Now, I will say this as I'm going through. Actually, it's on a double hinge, so you get the full range there. I will say this: the joints are really tight. They're not smooth tight. They're like tight, which is fine. But like when you go to like manipulate the shoulder, sometimes like I'm pulling this piece out. Just pointing it out. And let's see here. Moving down, we have this gold paint on there that's done pretty well, and then the wrist is on a ball joint, so that gets you an up and down and a swivel. So that's fine. And I like the hand pose. I like that relaxed hand pose with the 5mm port cut in. I'm okay with all that. Identical on the other side. Pelvis, we got the gold paint painted on, and that's about it. The hips are on universals. Now, this is a problem. And I'm not used to this sort of problem with MMC. But you see how tight this cut is here? Same on this side. So when you go for the outward motion, that's plastic grinding against plastic right there. That's not good. You can see the stress that it's putting on. You know, that's a design issue, and that's really not good. And I'm not used to seeing that sort of stuff with MMC. But it's an issue, and as a result, they also don't move very well. But you get the full range, full split, and then these are on swivels here, so you get the foot all the way out to there as well. And then we have the gray painted on, and I think that was a really smart choice, because I think that this would have looked really plain without it, and as a result, I think it looks much more visually interesting with the amount of color that this guy kind of has going on. No thigh swivel, but you get the knee swivel, so it kind of all works out. I'm okay with it. Gold paint on the kneecap. All this stuff, we have the silver paint there and on the back, which is nice, and then the feet. Now, when you get them out of the box, these heel spurs are tucked in. You want to get them out, and even these aren't the best. We'll talk about that here in a second. But ankle tilt, good rocker, and then you get an additional toe swivel or rocker, which basically acts as an additional rocker, and then the heel spur. Now, the problem that I have with this guy is, from a display perspective, is he tends to want to lean back. You have to really like take him and then like angle these heel spurs down in order to kind of get him standing properly. It doesn't give you the warm and fuzzy. I mean, it's doable. It's just not ideal. You know what I mean? Like, there he is, but I'm telling you, like, posing him is a bit of an art. All right, montage time. So, pull the backpack out, and then you want to take this piece here and extend it out. You can actually, like, this all, like, kind of splits apart. This whole piece there slides down, and then I think there might even be another. Yeah, this. So, like, you know, you got the chair all folded up on his back, basically. Turn the head, tuck it in, bring these arm joints around that we kind of already talked about, and fold up there as well as you do so. And then try to make sure that these are straight as well. Then you want to slide the back assembly up. Alright, so start working on the legs. They're going to eventually go kind of out like this. But the real trick is all this stuff. So you kind of got to fiddle with it. It's not like it's overly complicated, but it's just enough to kind of wear you out if you're not paying attention. So that, like, is on a double hinge. It's on a double swivel, and you rotate it around till you get the clearance here, and then this side kind of spins out, and then you can adjust that accordingly and lock that track in. We'll show you again on the other side. So there we go. There. And then making sure you have the clearance here. And that's your tracks. Lastly, rotate these feet up like this. And then they're on a series of swivels and hinges also. Kind of get them in place. And you're looking for this toe to grab a hold of that there, so that kind of locks it all together. We'll show you again on the other side. There. And then the tab end down here at the bottom as well. Fold those up. Lock the arms in by taking the gun and taking this bit into that elbow slot there. Tab together, and then you just want to clean her up. Open up these here and adjust your lamp or headpiece, and that's her. So we'll take a look at her. I think this works really well, to be honest, and I think that the engineering is pretty fun. These tracks can get a little kind of irritating, but for the most part, I think it's pretty good. I would have liked some more color up in here just because of how good this all looks. Like the seat and this part, and then like the little diamond plating feet part, like that all works really well. Just color wise, the gray stripe down the center, like this looks a little plain in hindsight. But other than that, I think it works really well. It's because of like the amount of like the ball joint here and stuff, like you kind of got to work with it a little bit to get it lined up the way that you want it to be. But it's not a big deal. It's just something to be aware of. But yeah, I dig it. I dig it a lot. And then you can put your your little figures in it. Get your role play on. Maybe one without a big backpack would be nice, but you get the idea. So this is on a hinge here, and then a hinge here, and then a hinge here, and then the actual headpiece is on a ball joint, and then we got the hinge here, a double hinge here, and a double with 3 hinges there to kind of get the feet lined up where you want it. So there's an awful lot put into this to try to make sure that you can accommodate your figures, and then it's all locked together pretty well. Then you can take your this thing, and so it's like this, right? And then you split it apart, and then you can open up the legs, and you can, let's see here. Tab those on to the side. No real fuss, no real muss. Same on the other side. Not bad. I guess we'll do Scorpion mode. I don't really want to, but I guess we'll do it. Take these off and unplug the feet, which is a tight, like a tiger tab. No stress marks though, so that's nice. You can go ahead and start bringing the legs on down. You got to put the legs back together for bot mode, so we can go through this again, which is not, I got news for you, it's not my favorite. Alright, so that one tucks around, we'll deal with that in a minute. And then this one comes up, and on the back it goes down, I think. Maybe this one's up too. Yeah. Okay. I think that's it anyway. And then same for the other side. These all tab in together too. Now, I think those got to come down. The toes. And that's your legs sorted. Bring this down and tuck this back in. Remove the gun. Bring the legs out to the side like this. I think this needs to face forward. No. Like that. Like that. Yes. So you get something that looks like this, and it's just a matter of cleaning it up. So you bring this around, and then you rotate that this way, and bring out the heel spur to make the claw. Same on the other side. This is going to end up being the tail. You can plug this in here. And then add your legs. And then just situate the legs. And there you have him. I feel like this is... I don't know if he does this in the comics. I'm not maybe as up to date. I feel like this is reaching a little bit. I mean, it's cool. You know, it's fine that it's there. It's not for me, and I don't really feel like it. Like the leg distance, like you really got to kind of try. Maybe I have it wrong. It's also possible, but I don't know. This seems like a bit of a stretch to me. But that's just my opinion. But it's fine. I don't know why you would want to do this. It's cool, I guess, that it's there, but it's, I guess, unnecessary for me. But if you like it, you win. Size comparison wise, there he is next to Voss. And I can't recall if that seems accurate or not. At first glance, it seemed like Voss was too small, but you know, the more I look at it, the more it seems alright. I don't know if they had to sacrifice some size to get the gun bit to work. I don't know. But either way, it's fine. It won't bother you, I don't think. Final thoughts wise, here's the issues. The joints are a little too tight, maybe, where they don't feel smooth, like during transformation, and the way that the hips are cut is a problem. That should have been corrected. There is something off balance about the feet. I can't put my finger on it, but the amount of work that I feel like you have to do to kind of make the feet work well, I just don't feel like is optimal. It's not terrible, you know, it's definitely something that you can deal with. It's just not optimal. Outside of that, I don't really have much complaints. It's just like there's a few fit and finish things on this guy that I'm not used to with MMC, with just like problems with stuff like tabbing in, like you got to put a lot of force and effort. Problems with stuff kind of sliding around, you got to use force and effort with it. I kind of feel like they're usually relatively easy to manipulate, and I don't feel like that's the case here. I feel like, I mean, it's you know, better to have the joints too tight than too loose. You know, I'm with you. I'm just pointing it out for the sake of pointing it out. But the likeness is there, the paint is there, the articulation is there. The transformation is, it's not the easiest, it's not the most fluid, mainly due to like the tolerance issues and things not kind of moving around easily. But it's very rewarding because there's not a whole lot of like trickiness to it. It's just a matter of kind of getting everything to move easily for you, and then the payoff, you're like, wow, like how was this even there? So I commend them for it. I think it's good. I think it's probably a little pricey for what it is, but I think it's a good thing. It's a good toy in the end of the day, and I think that if you're a DJD fan or an MTE fan, that it's probably a must-have. It's certainly not a bad made figure. It's definitely a well made figure. There's just a couple things that seem a little weird to me, given this company. But like, I'm happy with it. I definitely recommend it, and I think you will enjoy it. So thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care. And I should have another video before Christmas. But if not, Merry Christmas.
Did you walk over me?